Hey, what's going on, people? It's Glendon with another episode of How to Make a Living Without a Job. Designing your strategy. But before we do that, you know what's coming. You gotta pay some bills, baby. First of all, if you want to increase your hustler mindset, the best deal I have that's going on is 2 months of the hustler mindset plus all of my books. First link below. You need to hop on it. Let's talk about how to make a living without a job. See, this is the thing. Let's close that, or I'll be illuminated. I'll have that. Oh, look. Okay. The deal is to make a living without a job. The first thing that is incredibly important is strategy. You have to design the strategy. Let me tell you where a lot of people go wrong. And it is very critical and detrimental to their potential success. I have a phrase that I call the get money hustler. This is a person that has to get money. Something may have happened. They got to get money. Walls are closing in. Bills need to be paid. They have to get money. Okay, that wasn't a deal. I know what it was. Hold on. They have to get money. And it creates this very tense situation that's really not conducive to making money. Understand, the urge to pay bills is a strong one. The urge to survive is an even stronger one. But in a get money hustler phase, you just go out there and do stuff, and you don't really create long-term success. You might go out and, as they like to say down here in the South, hit a good lick. Come up on some, spend $50, make $1,000, spend $1,000, make 10 grand, and it's nice, but it's that home run mentality, and it doesn't happen that often. That's why you get so excited when you find something for like $50 and you make $400. When I'm speaking from a lofty position, I will say that. I am speaking from a very lofty position because I've had items for $1 make tens of thousands of dollars. I've had items for $50 make, 2,000 several times, but this happened over many years. Many years. This wasn't a week, this wasn't a month, this was years, damn near a decade. So you should really understand that. It's possible, but it's not likely. So in this get money hustler phase, you create a habit of doing things to get money without building a long-term business platform. And that's what kills you, because your efforts cannot duplicate themselves, nor your efforts can they build upon themselves. They're always at this level, and you never get out of that level. You just stay right there. And that's because there's no goals in place and there's no strategy. Now, let me give you an example of how to implement get money hustling into long-term hustling. Long-term hustling starts here. What do you want to do with your life? I mean, seriously, what do you want to do with your life? Where do you want to be? What do you want for your kids? Where do you want to live? What kind of car? Ask yourself those questions. Put your desires out there on paper, iPad, wherever you need to keep your goal list, and then work your way back. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom, but you want to make some cheddar, you want to make a little change, have a little change in your pocket, the world that we live in now, you can create a business in your house and easily make $1,000 to $2,000 a month, anywhere from say 6 months to a year. Get to that level. 1,000, 2,000 gross income. That's not all profit, but it's $24,000 working from the comfort of your home. Very, very doable. So you have that platform. You found a product, a service, or something that you could do from home, and it's making you $2,000. Then you go out and do get money hustling on top of that. It's a different ball game, because then that big come up. It doesn't get sucked up into bills because your bills are paid. Okay, that's another mansion being built. Yeah, they tear houses down because the lots are really large over here and put up these huge things. It's crazy. But you want to have that consistent revenue stream. You may be better off to forget about get money hustling and take a few months and build you something. And I don't care if it's $50 a month consistently, if it's $2, $3, for a lot of people, $300 extra a month is a big deal. It's huge. That's a big deal. That solves a lot of pain. That puts Pookie in Pampers. That buys, that pays a few bills. That might be the cell phone bill, the electric bill, car insurance. That can be significant for a family. So any money that you could create on top of what you already have coming in is very significant. So take a few months and build some consistent revenue stream. eBay. I mean, I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to be an asshole. It may come off that way. But anyone that diligently does the research and applies 20 hours a week, that includes shipping, sourcing, everything, can easily make $500 extra a month on eBay. Easily. If you devote 20 hours a week, say 8 hours a month. Actually, if you're putting in that kind of time and you're doing your research, you might be at 1,000. Seriously. Because the thing is, what a lot of people are doing, and this comes from not having having goals, this comes from not designing a strategy, is they go from thing to thing to thing because it's the new hot trendy thing right now. It's this is working, this is hot. Anything. I don't care if it's Craigslist, I don't care if it's eBay, I don't care if it's Amazon, I don't care if it's YouTube. If you consistently work it with a plan, you will be successful at it. You will make money. And the thing is, in the beginning, it will not be large money. It will not be ooh-wee money. It will not be the kind of money that you can brag to your friends about, because it's like, you worked that hard and you only made that kind of money? Really? You're wasting your time. That's just not enough money. Fuck those people. Because you're not wasting your time. You're building your experience repertoire. You're learning things. You're actually adding value to yourself. You're creating long-term value. Because this is the thing. When you do something and you build a business, and if you're pushing, you're going to make mistakes, but you're also going to gain something called experience. Experience is a very valuable commodity. I mean, people pay incredible amounts of money for experience. Experience is a wonderful thing. And if you have no experience, you have to earn it or buy it. Those are your two choices. Earn it or buy it. And by creating a business, whether you're only making pennies, a few shillings, no gold doubloons for you right now, you're adding value to yourself. And it's a period of time. I was in one of my groups on Facebook, and someone had put off that they were in their third month of Amazon FBA, and they were getting either was their first 4-figure payout after 3 months. Now, I don't know the profit matrix, the net, I have no clue, but they were thrilled, so I'm thinking the profit was pretty good. 3 months, but this person focused. And this is where Strategy is of the utmost importance. Strategy is everything. It is everything. And I want you to ask yourself, have you ever sat down and taken, say, what's your average sitcom? It's an hour. Have you taken 1 hour, the same time that you sit watching the boob tube, playing around, and actually created a goal sheet for your life? Have you ever done that? And I know a lot of people haven't, because when I bring this up and talk about goal settings, they're like, yeah, and they do what I call big stuff goals. Like, yeah, I want to get married. Yeah, I want to buy a house. I'm talking about, I want a 4-bedroom, 2-car garage, split level, 100% 4-sided brick. That specificity, if I said that correctly, is what will get you that house sooner. That's what will enable you to get the house in the first place, because once you know exactly what you want, the chances of you getting it and the likelihood of you getting it dramatically increase. And this works in all areas. Those folks in the hustler mindset know about some of the things like, designing your day, intent, purpose. All that stuff is huge in terms of creating the life that you want. So trying to create a life, making a living without a job hinges on your dreams. And those dreams turn to the goals. Because if it's just in your head and you think about it, but you don't take any action, you hadn't sat down and sketched out a goal plan, it's just a whim. Yeah, it's in your head. Yeah, it's a dream. And it can stay inside your head for the next decade, for the next 10 years. And then someone who has a similar dream will take action and get to where you want to be in a year or so. And then next thing you know, you are all kinds of pissed off because they stole my idea. No, the fuck they didn't. They took action and your janky ass kept sitting on the bench watching life pass you by. Understand, designing your strategy is the most important thing. Here's a few key elements of your strategy, and this is something that I didn't do as a budding entrepreneur, because I had a strategy and I had goals, but I still had get money hustler mentality. That's why I'm telling you it is not going to serve you well long term. I didn't think about my life. I just thought getting money. The money will solve everything. The money would make things better. No. You gotta wedge the two together. You gotta wedge your business, your life, and you gotta create some type of synchronicity between all of that, or you will go mad or be totally out of balance. Totally. Now, in the beginning, you may have to have a maniacal focus to get the thing off the ground. So I'm not talking about forever and ever, but there may be a few years where you may work like a madman or a mad woman just to get this thing rolling, which is cool. But I'm saying, if you have goals and it's like, okay, for 2 years I'm going to work like a complete maniac. Then after that, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to have a certain, because you can create a certain work day. You can create your hours. Once you get this thing off the ground, once you learn how to leverage yourself, once you learn how to use technology, hire employees, and dictate well. But part of being really, really successful, in my opinion, is having that business and also having a life. Having the time and the energy to enjoy the money you're making. And this is another thing. When I say you should be trying to get rich, I'm not speaking only in terms of money. One of the most precious, one of the most valuable commodities that you have is your time. If you could maintain your current salary, whatever that is, but cut the time that you had to work to earn it in half, you've become tremendously rich. You're making the same money, but you're putting out half the effort. That's a win. And that's what some people are doing. So when I say if you're not trying to get rich, you're a dumbass, that's what I'm talking about. Because being rich is more than money. It's about your time. It's about your health. It's about time with friends and family. It's about enjoying yourself. So, and this whole notion that, oh, rich people are all this and they are on drugs and they're kids. I'm sorry. I actually know a lot of rich people, and some of them are the finest people on earth. And they're happy because they can fucking enjoy their time. And they have order and control of their lives, which is a big one. There's a lot of people that don't mind working hard. They will work 15 hours a day doing something that they love. That's not a problem for them. The problem for them is they don't control what they do. They don't control the projects they work on. They don't control any of that stuff. And that's what kills them. So in designing your strategy, in putting together what kind of hustler you're going to be, seriously, take 4 hours. Yes, 4 hours. Take 4 sheets of paper, and on one sheet of paper, put business goals. Then on another sheet of paper, put life goals. Then on another sheet of paper, put ooh-wee fun stuff. Like, if you want a Porsche, put it on that sheet. And then the fourth one, family. And start writing out what kind of goals you want for your family. What kind of goals you want for your business. And write everything down. Do not fucking censor yourself, and don't put any restrictor plates on. I don't care if you want to ride around in hot balloons for the next year. Put it on there, and then when you have all these goals written out, because when you pull them outside of your head, they make a little bit more sense, or they may not make any sense at all. You may see that goal that you had in your head, something that you've thought about for years, but when you pull it out and you start working on it, and you're like, I really don't want to do that. That's another benefit of doing this exercise. You will find out if some of the stuff that you've been thinking about and wanting to do, you'll find out if it's really worth doing, which is a win. And you'll also get a better sense of yourself, more clarity. And it's a powerful exercise because a lot of people are afraid to dream. They're afraid to think big. They're afraid to dare to do something that they've never done before. And I'm telling you, you're selling yourself short. So when you're putting together your matrix, your design matrix for your business, how to make a living without a job, you really have to think of your life in totality, not in segments. Now, if you're young and you're like 21, 22, 23, this is really good for you because you have so much time to design this that you can really, really mess up massively and recover so easily because of your youth. And if you're older, you can still take chances, but you got to make sure that some things are in place. That's just the reality. But do the goals thing. Sit down, really think about it, and then once you have those 4 sheets of papers and they're full of your goals, your desires, then see how they interlace together. See how they do this. Because if they don't interlace together, you're going to have internal conflict that's going to rob you of energy of achieving any of those goals. It's like, because you're going to ask yourself, and then you're going to think about 18 other things that interfere with that goal. And each time that you think about those 18 other things, your energy level drops. And you don't really end up doing any of them. So that's the deal. Number one thing that you need to do to make a living without a job is have a strategy. Robust strategy and goals. It's worth 4 hours of your life to determine how the rest of your life may come out. Just something for you to think about. All right, this is Glendon, and I will see you on the good side.